I went to bed with a smile on my face. I woke up with a smile on my face. Every day keeps getting better and better. The United States Justice Department has sued New York, its governor, and other state leaders as part of the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. The new Attorney General, Pam Bondi, announced the lawsuit. She made it very clear. This is a new DOJ. And you got to stop prioritizing illegal immigrants over U.S. citizens. You know, I travel a lot. I'm in a lot of hotel rooms. I'm blessed. I like to stay in a nice place when I'm away from my home. I am so mindful of how lucky I am. You know, I kind of consider myself in some ways a traveling salesman. I travel all the time. And living in a hotel is part of my job. And I know there are people who hear my voice who might not have stayed in a hotel in years, maybe not their whole life. And there is something about the millions and millions and millions of dollars that taxpayers give to luxury hotels to turn them into migrant shelters, as they call it, that makes me crazy. I think about people who would love to have a nice hotel room. I think about a veteran. I think about a widow. I think about a single dad. I think about a senior living in a terrible, terrible condition. And it's unbelievable to me that Democrats think it's normal to direct taxpayer dollars to some owner of a hotel and house illegal immigrants for free. For them. It's not free for us, it's free for them. When New York says, come to our city, we are a sanctuary. When the mayor of New York, or the governor of New York more appropriately, says, come to our state, come from Guatemala, come from Guadalajara, come from Mexico City, come from Venezuela, come from China, come from wherever you want to come from. Come live in our city and we'll house you at taxpayer expense. It makes me crazy. And I admit it's a glitch. I've got a glitch here. I obsess over this. So you can appreciate my joy at the press conference yesterday that Pam Bondi held, where she put New York on notice. The Justice Department is suing New York to end these garbage tactics of providing driver's licenses to illegal immigrants, of providing hotel rooms to illegal immigrants, of providing food and education and medical attention to illegal immigrants. As Pam Bondi put it yesterday in Washington, D.C., those days are over.
If you don't comply with federal law, we will hold you accountable. We did it to Illinois. Strike one. Strike two is New York. And if you are a state not complying with federal law, you're next. Get ready. And the great men and women of law enforcement are standing behind me today. We have FBI, DEA, ATF agents. They put their lives on the line every single day to protect us. And what New York has, they have green light laws, meaning they're giving a green light to any illegal alien in New York where law enforcement officers cannot check their identity if they pull them over. Law enforcement officers do not have access to their background. And if these great men and women pull over someone and don't have access to their background, they have no idea who they're dealing with. And it puts their lives on the line every single day. Violent criminals, gang members, drug traffickers, human smugglers will no longer terrorize the American people. And that is why we are here today. You will be held accountable if you do not follow federal law. It's over, it ends, and we're coming after you.
Every word of that is music to our ears. Every word of that is worth jubilation, gratitude. Do you realize what we achieved on November 5th? Do you get this? Do you know how terrible things would be if Kamala Harris had been elected president of the United States? Let's go back to Pam Bondi yesterday, who makes it very clear it is a new day.
We have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. As you know, we sued Illinois, and New York didn't listen. So now you're next.
Oh my gosh. I'm not kidding you. I'm not saying this to be a smart aleck. I could quit right now and be the happiest guy in the world. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just digging in. I'm just getting started. But I could die right now, the happiest guy in the world. Lord, take me now. I honestly could. I'm so happy. It's hard to even put into words what this feels like. And we're 3 weeks in. This country's just getting started. This country is roaring back. Common sense is prevailing. And you know what's magnificent? They don't know what to do. They've got nothing. From Chuck Schumer to Waters to Pelosi to Emmanuel Cleaver, they got nothing. They're reduced, and I'm not trying to be ugly here. I'm going to try to be on my best behavior. They are reduced to gibberish. I mean, like literal gibberish. They're mouthing, they're going up to a podium and mouthing nonsensical words. Let me give you an example. Missouri's Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver just yesterday.
Take your musty millions and musty Moscow rights to the moon. You get your musty hands off of our money or go to Moscow. You musty moon.
Well, that's their effect. That's their strategy. When all this waste is being carved away, when taxpayers are being rescued by the Trump administration, the best they got is Emmanuel Cleaver mouthing gibberish. You take your musty moo hands off. That's good. That's good. That'll work. That's very effective. That guy makes Chuck Schumer's approach look like Winston Churchill. They're lost. They're broken. They're shattered. And it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. 800-655-Mike, welcome aboard. It is Thursday. We're here in the Relief Factor studios, and I think our best times are ahead. It is a glorious time to be on the right side of history, isn't it? It is a magnificent, and I do often think of how bad it could be if you've been on the wrong side. And I know many of you are listening right now. You're watching on Salem News Channel. You've got your radio station tuned in. You're hate listening to me. You're angry. You're frustrated. You're sputtering. How does it feel to know how wrong you've been? I'm not trying to be mean here. How does this feel? I've asked that question now for a couple of weeks. You got buyer's remorse? Look, come on in. The water's fine. Best thing I like to do is go to this audience when we're celebrating. We've been through a lot together. We've been through a lot of highs, a lot of lows, ups and downs. We've been through 9/11 together. A lot of people started listening to the show on September 11th, 2001, and you've been with us ever since. And it always touches my heart when I get a note, a text, an email, or a call from somebody who says, Mike, I've been listening to you since that fateful day when those planes hit the Twin Towers. And of course, we were at the time broadcasting from the Empire State Building. We've been through COVID together, the pandemic. We've been through the Trump win of 2016. We've been through the torturous Biden administration. And now this country is just on the right track. It's pretty astounding. And I do often wonder about the people who have been so wrong. How are they feeling today? Maybe Ron in Naperville, Illinois can address that. Hey, Ron, welcome to the show. How are you?
Great, Mike. I was wondering if we're going to start hearing Democrats say that they should have let him win in 2020.
Well, you know what? It would have been a different ball game, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think, they're going to be in another couple of weeks, I think we're going to be hearing it. They're going to be going, holy crap.
Yeah.
We should have let him win.
We should, because it wouldn't have been. Somebody tweeted yesterday, I saw a post yesterday on X that said, the Democrats have to be kicking themselves. Trump, who was it? It was that Jesse guy, Jesse Kelly. I want to read this because I reposted it because it was spot on, and I wonder what people who hate Trump make of this. Here's what Jesse said. Trump 45 was a puppy dog who walked into office ready to make deals with you and govern from the middle. But you couldn't control your demonic urges. You had to impeach him and shoot him, and now you get what you get. Don't throw a fit. Isn't that true? When you stop and think about this, had it not happened the way it happened, had 2020 not unfolded the way it did, we would be lost in the wilderness, maybe for years to come. I don't know. I mean, I think we would have had, because they would have been as histrionic from 2020 to 2024 as they were 2016 to 2020. But it's different this time. It's as if even they know they went too far. It's as if they know that weaponizing the courts was too far. Trying to come up with, the New York case, and I am so glad that Hochul and that Letitia James, I'm so glad they're the recipient of this lawsuit from the Department of Justice, because nobody is more deserving than people like Tish James. They said, let's do this. Let's take a business, and history will never forget this, and many of us will never forgive them. They took a bookkeeping error, turned it into, which would have been a misdemeanor, which over the years expired due to the statute of limitations. And Alvin Bragg and Tish James and these dirty, dirty Democrats turned that expired misdemeanor into a series of felony counts. And they found their reliably Trump-hating jurors in New York City to convict Trump of 34 felony counts. Man could have faced 100 years in prison if Tish James had her way, if Alvin Bragg had his hateful way. If they had gotten their way, that's what would have happened. And Americans, I believe a lot of moderate and middle of the road, maybe even liberal Democrats looked at that and said, if they can pull that crap with him, they can pull it over any of us. And we're not going to stand for it. And we're going to vote for the guy. And we're going to put him in office. And that, as Trump often said, that success is his retribution.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.